Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Wake and Stretch on this beautiful Thursday morning. I always have to think about what day it is. It's irrelevant, I guess, sometimes, but since I'm doing a series here, I like to say the date. Anyway, welcome to the morning. Today, I think I'm going to do a little bit of a yin yang practice. So, what that means is you need props. You need bolsters, pillows, blankets, as much stuff as you think you would need, plus a little bit more than that. So go ahead and grab that while I continue to talk. So I'm going to kill time here while you go get those props. And I'm not going to make this the longest practice ever because honestly, not every yoga practice has to be 40 minutes to an hour. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 10, it can be 15. My happy place is around 30 to 45 minutes. But sometimes you just don't have time for that. So today I'm going to do one yin pose. And then I'm going to move into a gentle yang flow, so vinyasa. Yin is the cooler aspect and yang is the warmer. So once we get into the vinyasa, that's when you'll feel a lot more heat moving in and there'll be more breath and movement coordination. It is important to know that when you're in the yin, that you pay attention to your breath. You also only want to move into the pose about 60% of what you can handle. You don't want to go full-fledged intensity because we're going to stay in the pose for probably about 4 or 5 minutes. And know that if you're not used to yin and that seems like a lot of time, it is a lot of time. And if you need to come out a bit earlier, then just move into a shavasana instead. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to head over to the mat. Always take care of yourself when you're doing your practice and do what you need to. All right, so let's go. All right, so the first yin pose, well, the only yin pose that I want to take today is Dragonfly. So Dragonfly is a seated straddle, legs out to the side. Now when you're moving into any forward fold, feel free to prop underneath your sit bones, regardless of your flexibility. Doesn't mean you have to, it's always an option there. And then you want to prop it up. Bring your props in front of you, underneath your sit bones. If it's too intense on your hamstrings, you can slide pillows or blankets or towels underneath your knees for a little extra support. And I apparently am not centered. The dancer in me wants this to be centered. Okay, I need to let that go, right? Okay. So once you find your positioning, give your legs a good little shake, wibble and wobble, and just let them go. If they turn in a little, if they turn out a little bit, doesn't matter in yin. That alignment is not important. What's important is that you'll have sensation through the inner legs. You may feel some in your back as well. So once you have what you think you need prop-wise, sit up nice and tall through the spine. And as you exhale, start to tuck the chin and roll down. We want the head to be supported, and you may need to wiggle around a little bit to find exactly what works for you. Your arms can go wherever you'd like them to. Just be mindful that you're not pushing or pulling yourself into the pose. Being in yin means to be passive. So you're not actively holding onto the ankles and pulling yourself down. You're not using it as a suspension in a sense. You're just letting yourself relax and settle. Be mindful that the neck is comfortable. And then allow yourself to just settle down into your breath. Right, and the dogs are going to do what the dogs do. of being in a yoga practice is observing what's happening and breathing through it. Notice what emotions come up. Like I severely want to yell at Zeus. He's being a pip this morning. Our neighbors are out there maintaining the rice fields. Just find your breath. If you're feeling any agitation or irritation from the sounds that you hear, ask yourself why. Understand it, and then exhale and let it go. It's okay to feel that way. And when I say let it go, what I mean is you don't have to not feel those feelings, but let the irritation exit with your exhale and bring yourself back to your breath. Bring yourself back to the sensation in your body. We'll stay here for about 1 more minute. And gradually start to deepen your breath. Start to roll up through the spine, walking your hands back to support you as you come up. Take your time, move any props out from underneath you. You want to move them out of the way first. And use your hands on your legs to gently close the legs. I'm going to move into Shavasana from here. So taking Shavasana after a yin pose is important for the body to rebound. It's going to be one of those mornings. It's all good. Just keep breathing. Take another nice deep breath. And start to wake up the arms, the legs. Give a nice stretch through the body. And hug the knees into the chest. Give a little rock from side to side just to help wake yourself up a little bit more. And go ahead and roll onto your right side. Fetal position. We'll stay here for a breath or two. And then gently press yourself up, finding a comfortable seated position. You can prop if you'd like to. Bring your hands actively onto the knees, no matter how you're sitting. And we'll take a few seated cows and cats. So inhaling, lifting the heart and the eyes. And exhale, curl. Inhale, lifting the heart and the eyes. Exhale, curl. And we'll go through this a few more times. Go ahead and follow your own pattern of breath. I'll give you a warning before we move on. Let's take one more full round of breath. And bring yourself back to a nice neutral spine, exhaling where you need to. Inhale the arms out to your side to a T, and then exhale, gently lean over to your left. So the right arm is lifting up and over. If the arm's not comfortable coming over, you can bring the fingertips to the shoulder, as long as you're getting a stretch through the right side of the body. And inhale, bring it back up through center, and exhale, lean over to the right. Inhaling up through center, and going back and forth side to side a few times. Keep the neck nice and long. Be mindful the ear doesn't drop to the shoulder. You even startled me that time. Once you've done both sides equally, come back up to a nice neutral spine. Exhale, let the hands release on the shoulders. Just take a few breaths here with a vertical spine. Hopefully you're feeling a little taller, a little more open in the sides. And we'll take some twists from here. I like to use the arms and choreograph them a little bit, but you can do whatever you'd like with the arms. So inhaling, lifting them up, or just to shoulder height is fine. Exhale, giving a gentle twist to the right. Inhale, bringing it back up. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhaling, coming back up through center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhaling, coming up through center. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhaling, coming up through center. Exhaling to the right. And go one more time to the left. Inhaling up through center. Exhale to the left. Inhaling, coming back to your center, neutral spine. Exhale where you need. Arms can rest. Loki's here to protect me. Zeus is going to come sit behind me. It's a doggy dog morning. And again, when is it not? All right, so from here, I'm going to come into tabletop as long as I can get Zeus out of the way. All right, yeah. So coming to tabletop, hands and knees. No need to go through cow and cat. We've already done that seated. So what I'm going to do here is take opposite arm leg bounce, just for a little core activation. So the right leg will extend back, ankle flexed, toes pulling to the shin bone, belly up and in. Then allow the left arm, the opposite arm, to extend out. As you exhale, scoop the belly and pull everything in. Inhaling and extending. Exhale, pulling it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, extend. Keep the leg out there. Exhale the hand down. Take another inhale. Exhale, curl it in, step it through or step it around and find your low lunge. Feel free to take this low lunge where you would like to. Just be mindful that the front leg is in a nice parallel position. So I'm going to flow a little bit from low lunge to half monkey. And if you have tightness, I'm going to go find my other block. You can use the blocks under your hands so that it's not so intense. It's okay to not be intense and still move the body. All right, so here's how this little flow goes. As you inhale, you're going to transition and lift up onto the left knee, right leg straightens, and then exhale, gently fold it forward. Inhale, bring yourself up, start to transition back into low lunge. Exhale as you ease into the lunge. So your inhale is your transition. Let your breath be your guide and your meter for your speed. A few more times. Staying in your half monkey once you get to your next one. Getting a nice stretch through the hamstring, lower back, glutes. If you want a little bit more intensity on the heel and the calf muscle, pull the toes back a little more. And on your inhale, lift the head. Exhale, the right hand to the inside of the leg, sweep the right leg back. Props to the side and take child's pose for a few breaths. From here, moving on to the other side, coming onto hands and knees into your tabletop. Extending the left leg back, letting it float up into the air, only about an inch or two. Belly engaged. Right arm extends forward, opposite arm leg balance. Take a nice full inhale here. Then exhale, curl the spine, knee and elbow come together underneath. Inhale, extending. Exhale, curling it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring the hand down. Only leave the leg floating behind you. Hey, Zeus, can you give it a rest, buddy? Okay, take another inhale here. Exhale, curl, step, or sweep that foot through. Finding your low lunge on the other side. Use your props if you'd like under your hands. Hey, buddy. Zeus, you don't have to be so loud, buddy. It's okay. The neighbors are allowed to work in their field. All right, so from here, moving through that same transition. Inhaling as you transition back so that your weight is on the right, left leg straightens, and then exhale, gently fold. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, coming into your low lunge. in line with your breath. We're going to go a few more times. Once you come into your next half monkey, just stay there and hang out for a few breaths. And on your next inhale, start to bring yourself up. Exhale the left hand to the inside of the front foot. Sweep that left leg back. Move your props out of the way and find your child's pose. Gently lifting the head, bringing yourself up onto hands and knees, tuck the toes, find your way into a squat. So from here, taking Malasana, also known as garland pose. And this is quite intense on the low back and the inner thighs if you have tightness there. So feel free to slide a block underneath your hips. Let the feet come about hip width apart, and we're looking for the heels to come down. You can start this from a standing position if that's where you need to start from. Let yourself sink down into it. We'll take this a little bit more passively today. I'm going to bring my props in front of me here. Get a little support for the head. So this is not going to be a long hold, probably about 10 breaths or so. So make sure you're comfy, make sure your heels are supported so that they're fully connected to the ground or something, right? So your heels are not floating. Arms can rest where you'd like. About halfway through. One more nice full breath. And gently lift the head. Remove any props out of your way, especially out from underneath your sit bones. And then just gently, if it can come gently, sit down onto the mat. Use your hands on your legs, bring them together. Give them a nice hug. Just very gently rock from side to side. I'm being very gentle and very kind to the body today. It's okay to move gently. You don't always have to have an intense vinyasa flow. All right, so from here, laying down on the back. Now, if you are one of my inversion free peeps, feel free to prop yourself up. So actually, you know what? Let's do that. That's a better idea. Let's prop it up. Let's get a little chest opening going. Yes, if you have two blocks, a medium level and a high level, or a low level and a medium level. If you have a bolster, grab your bolster, blankets, towels. We want to be on a nice diagonal through the spine. So the head is the highest point. Let the arms float out to your side. Legs can do as you wish. So you can widen the feet and let the knees fall together. You can do the opposite, bring the feet together, let the knees widen. Or if your lower back's good with it, you can let the legs come into like a Shavasana. If you decide to go with the butterfly legs and it's intense, slide props underneath your thighs for support so it doesn't get even more intense. Staying here for just about maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. We'll make our way into a Shavasana. If you prefer to stay lifted up, then feel free to stay lifted up. But if you're good with laying flat, then bring the legs to a nice neutral position. Then roll on to one side. You can prop up on an elbow. Move your props out of the way. Lay back down on your spine. And find your Shavasana. Now, if you'd like to, this is always a nice thing to do too, is to bring your bolster or your blocks or pillow underneath your knees. So you have a little support there. I'm not sure if you can see that or not because I know Zeus is laying right in front of my legs, but I do have a prop under there. My feet are kind of floating a little bit. It's okay if they do. It's Shavasana time, Zeus. Can you go into your Shavasana, please, buddy? Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. And we'll stay in the Shavasana here for a little while. One more nice deep breath here in your Shavasana. Start to find energy in your fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles, hands and feet. Give a nice long stretch through your body. And hug the knees in towards the chest. Feel free to rock from side to side here. Are you going to sit it down, bud? Good boy. And roll onto your right side into fetal position. Gently press yourself up. Find your seated position. A little closer. Sitting up nice and tall, hands can either rest on your heart and belly, or if you prefer to bring them to prayer, at your heart, whichever one feels the best for you. Give a few moments of gratitude, something you're thankful for today in this very moment. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I can't really control the dogs and their barking, so of course they would pick today to bark since I decided on doing a chill yin-yang practice, but c'est la vie. Yeah, that's the way it goes in life. And part of the yoga practice is learning how to deal with life. So there we go. So enjoy your Thursday. Have a beautiful day. If you're watching this on social where you can like and share, please do. Especially share it with someone who you know it might help. And with that said, have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.